galaxy was at war. Stars burned where cities once lived. Entire worlds were falling in silence. Every major race had chosen a side. The Galactic Alliance called it the final war. It was a war for control, resources, and survival. Fleets moved. Like storms across space, weapons older than suns were used without mercy. In the middle of this chaos, there was one planet that stayed quiet. Earth did not send ships. Earth did not send soldiers. Earth did not even speak from the outside. Earth looked weak. One blue planet, one yellow star, no massive fleets near its borders. No signs of fear or panic. The Alliance noticed this silence. Very quickly, they needed every world. They needed every weapon. They needed every life they could use. So they sent a message to Earth. It was not polite. It was not friendly. It was an order. Join the war. Send fleets. Send soldiers. Or face consequences. The message traveled across space and reached Earth in seconds. Human leaders received it together. They did not shout. They did not argue. They listened. They waited. Then they sent a reply. The message from Earth was short and calm. This is not our war. We choose neutrality across the galaxy. The reaction was laughter. Some leaders thought it was a joke. Others felt insulted. A few felt anger. In the Alliance Council, Earth became a topic of mockery. They called humans cowards. They called them outdated. They said humans were hiding behind words. One commander spoke loudly during the council meeting. Humans are soft. They fight each other on one planet and think they understand war. They have never faced real enemies. Another leader agreed. Earth has no place in this galaxy. If they do not join us, they stand against us. Still, Earth stayed silent. No threats were made. No warnings were repeated. The planet remained quiet. Human cities continued their normal life. Ships traveled peacefully. Signals moved through space without aggression. Too many, it looked like fear, but some observers felt something was wrong. Earth was not preparing for defense in public. There were no emergency broadcasts, no visible military movement. It was too calm. A smaller council met in secret. They discussed forcing Earth to comply. They believed fear would work better than words. One fleet commander volunteered. He was known for quick victories. He enjoyed breaking weaker worlds. He believed humans would fall instantly. The plan was simple. Send a fleet near Earth. Show power. Fire a warning shot if needed. The council approved it without hesitation. To them, Earth was nothing special, just another world that needed pressure. As the fleet prepared to move, long-range sensors watched Earth. The planet still showed no reaction, no shields raised, no weapons powered up. The commander smiled. He believed silence meant surrender. Far away on Earth, deep beneath the surface, systems quietly observed the approaching fleet. No alarms rang. No panic spread. Only silent calculations ran. Human leaders watched the same data. They said nothing. They ordered nothing. Earth had made its choice long ago. It would not start a war, but it would remember who did. As the alien fleet crossed the edge of the solar system, the quiet planet remained quiet, and that silence made one fatal misunderstanding. The alien fleet moved slowly through space. Its ships were massive, dark, and sharp like blades. They traveled in perfect formation, confident and unafraid. To the commander, this was not a battle. It was a lesson, a show of power, meant to break Earth's will. As the fleet entered the outer edge of the solar system, sensors scanned every planet, every moon, every signal. The results surprised them. There were no defense fleets waiting, no weapon platforms aimed at them, no hostile signals at all. The commander laughed. He turned to his officers and spoke calmly. I told you, they are afraid. The fleet continued forward, passing frozen rocks and silent gas clouds, moving closer to the blue planet. Then a signal arrived. It was clear, it was human, and it was calm. The message played across every alien bridge. This is Earth. You are entering restricted space. Turn back now. There was no threat in the voice, no anger, no fear, only a simple warning. The commander felt insulted. He replayed the message, listening for weakness, but heard only control. He responded immediately. This system is now under alliance. Authority. Stand down and prepare to comply. Earth did not answer right away. Seconds passed, then minutes. Some officers began to feel uneasy. The silence felt heavy, different from fear, different from surrender. Then Earth replied again. This is your final warning. Leave now. Do not proceed further." The commander's expression hardened. He slammed a claw against the console. They dared to warn us twice. He believed humans were bluffing. He believed they had nothing to back their words. In his experience, weak species always talked first. He ordered the fleet to advance. Weapons were powered but not aimed. Shields stayed low. This was meant to be a demonstration. As the fleet moved closer to Earth, human satellites drifted silently. Nearby, they did not move. They did not react. Alien sensors detected strange signals, but nothing they could identify, nothing that looked like a weapon. The commander ignored the reports. He trusted his own judgment and his past victories on Earth. Human observers watched the fleet in real time. Their faces showed no panic, only focus. A single human officer spoke quietly. They did not turn back. "No," one replied, because there was nothing more to say. Deep within Earth's systems, protocols shifted, not to attack, not to defend, but to record. Every movement of the fleet was logged. Every command was saved. Every decision was marked. The humans were not preparing for war. They were preparing for consequences. The alien fleet reached a critical distance, close enough to be seen clearly, close enough to fire. One junior officer hesitated. He suggested retreat, or at least negotiation. The commander dismissed him instantly. "We will fire a warning shot. That will end this silence." Weapons were armed, targeting systems locked. A single small human station was selected. It was not a military base, just a communication hub. Floating quietly near Earth, the commander believed this would send a message. He believed humans would finally understand fear as energy built inside the alien weapon. Earth sent one last signal: do not fire. The commander smiled and gave them order anyway. The galaxy would later remember this moment. But as the second, before everything changed, the weapon fired. A thin line of bright energy crossed the dark space. It moved faster than thought, straight toward the human station. There was no warning, no time to escape, no chance to hide. The station vanished in a flash of white light. Metal burned, systems collapsed, and millions of human lives ended in one silent moment. For a few seconds, space was quiet again. Even the alien fleet stopped moving. Some officers stared at their empty space in shock. The commander felt proud. He believed the lesson was complete. He expected panic. He expected surrender. But Earth did not scream. Earth did not beg. Earth did not answer. 10 seconds passed, then 20, then 30. The silence grew heavy, different from before. Sharper, colder. On Earth, alarms did not sound. Cities did not fall into chaos. There were no emergency broadcasts. Instead, deep systems awakened. Systems older than most alien civilizations. Systems built for one purpose. Human leaders watched the destruction on silent screens. Some closed their eyes, some lowered their heads, but no one shouted. A single command was given. It was not spoken aloud. It was authorized. Across the solar system, hidden platforms activated. They rose from shadows near moons, from behind asteroids, from places no scanner had noticed. The alien fleet began to receive strange readings. Their instruments failed. Their targeting systems froze. Their communication lines filled with noise. The commander shouted for reports, but answers came too slowly. Confusion spread across the fleet. Then the human ships appeared, not from hyperspace, not from any known direction. They simply were there. They were small, dark, silent. Alien sensors struggled to lock onto them, as if the ships refused to exist. The first human strike did not destroy anything. Instead, it disabled everything. Power across half the fleet went dark. Shields collapsed. Engines failed. Ships drifted helplessly, colliding slowly with each other. The commander realized too late, this was not a battle. This was control. Human weapons fired again, precise, calculated, merciless. Every shot had a purpose. No energy was wasted. No ship was hit twice. The alien fleet tried to retreat, but space itself seemed to trap them. Navigation systems showed false paths. On Earth, one human voice finally spoke. The tone was calm, almost sad. "You were warned." The message echoed across open channels, reaching the fleet, reaching the Alliance, reaching the galaxy. The commander felt fear for the first time. Real fear, not of death, but of understanding. He understood now. Earth had not refused the war because it was weak. Earth had refused because it was prepared. As more ships went dark, the commander watched his fleet fall apart, piece by piece. Human ships did not chase the survivors. They did not finish them. They simply stopped firing. The message from Earth came again. This engagement is over. Do not force another. The remaining alien ships floated broken and silent, alive but powerless, far across the galaxy. Leaders watched in disbelief. They replayed the recordings. They checked the data. The war had changed. Not because Earth joined it, but because Earth had responded, and everyone understood one truth. The first shot was the last mistake. The alien fleet was no longer a fleet. It was a field of broken ships, drifting slowly in the dark. Some vessels still had power, some had life support, but none had control. Human ships stayed where they were, silent, watching. They did not celebrate. They did not speak. They waited. Across the galaxy, signals spread fast. Footage of the battle reached the Alliance. Command centers fell silent. No one had seen war like this before. No explosions, no chaos, only clean removal of power. The Alliance demanded answers. They sent urgent messages to Earth, asking what kind of weapons were used. Earth did not reply immediately. Instead, something else happened. Human fleets began to appear across known space. Not attacking, not threatening, just appearing. They arrived near war zones, near burning worlds, near collapsing defenses. Everywhere they appeared, fighting stopped. Weapons failed. Ships froze in place. It was as if the war itself was being paused. Alien commanders panicked. They tried to fire. They tried to escape. Nothing worked. Human technology spread like a quiet shadow. It did not destroy cities. It did not erase worlds. It took control. On Earth, human leaders addressed the Alliance at last. The message was simple. We did not join your war. Because wars grow when fed. This confused many listeners. They expected threats. They expected demands. Instead, Earth continued. Humanity studied war for centuries. We learned how it starts, how it spreads, how it ends. The Alliance asked why Earth had stayed hidden, why they had never shown this power. Earth answered calmly. Because showing power invites fear, and fear creates enemies. Meanwhile, the broken alien fleet near Earth was secured. Human ships surrounded it, providing life support, preventing self-destruction. Prisoners were taken, not in chains, but under watch. The commander was alive. He was brought before a human council. He expected anger. He expected revenge. He received neither. A human representative spoke to him. Your fleet fired first. You ignored every warning. The commander lowered his head. He had no answer. The human continued. We did not destroy your fleet. Because destruction teaches nothing. This shocked the observers. Many had expected total annihilation. Across the galaxy, war slowed. Races that had been enemies paused their attacks. Watching Earth closely, human fleets stayed present, silent reminders of consequence. The message was clear. Earth was not a conqueror. Earth was not an ally. Earth was something else. As more battlefields fell silent, leaders began to fear a new truth. Humanity was not unleashing its full power yet. What the galaxy had seen was only restraint, and restraint was far more terrifying than rage. The galaxy did not return to normal, because nothing felt normal anymore. The war was still there, but it had slowed, as if space itself was holding its breath. Worlds that had been burning for years now waited. Fleets stayed in place. Commanders hesitated before giving orders. Everyone was watching Earth. Alliance leaders gathered in emergency meetings, not to plan attacks, but to understand. They replayed the battle near Earth again and again. Frame by frame, signal by signal, the data made no sense. Human ships appeared without travel signatures, weapons disabled instead of destroyed. This was not how wars were fought. At last, Earth agreed to speak openly. A broadcast was sent across the galaxy, unfiltered, unedited. A human figure appeared on screens everywhere. Calm, still, the voice spoke slowly, so every race could understand. Humanity does not seek control. We do not seek territory. We do not seek worship. This confused many listeners. Some thought it was a trick. Others thought it was a lie. The message continued. We stayed silent because we were learning. We watched your wars. We studied your mistakes. Human history appeared on the screens. Short clips, simple records, images of ancient human wars, trenches, burning cities, falling skies. Then the images changed. Simulations, predictions, models. Humanity had been fighting wars, in numbers, in data, in probability. The Alliance began to understand. Humans did not train only soldiers, they trained outcomes. The message continued. We learned that victory creates new enemies, but stability creates peace. Many leaders felt uneasy, because they had never thought this way. Earth explained further. Our technology was built to stop wars, not win them. This statement spread fear, because stopping wars meant control. The broadcast showed more evidence. Human fleets holding battle lines apart, preventing reinforcements, limiting damage. Civilian worlds were left untouched. Supply routes were protected. The Alliance asked why. Earth had not shared this sooner. Earth answered simply, because no one asked. Silence followed that reply. Some races felt shame, others felt anger. The truth was clear now. Earth had not hidden out of fear, but out of restraint. Reports came in from across space. Casualties were dropping. Entire fronts were frozen. The war was losing momentum. The galaxy learned another truth. Humanity was not ending the war by force, but by removing the reasons to fight. As the broadcast ended, one final line appeared on every screen. Earth remains neutral, but neutrality does not mean inaction. Leaders across the galaxy understood the message. The balance of power had shifted forever, and one question echoed in every mind. Why does Earth fear war so much? The galaxy waited for Earth's final words. The war had slowed to a crawl. Fleets stayed still. Weapons stayed silent. Everyone wanted the same answer. Why Earth refused to join the war? Earth spoke again, not as a threat, not as a command, but as a lesson. The human voice returned to every screen, calm, measured. Humanity has fought wars longer than most of you have existed. We fought with stones, with steel, with fire. Images appeared. Human cities in ruins, oceans filled with wreckage, skies dark with smoke. The message continued. Every war taught us the same truth. War never ends when you think it does. The images changed again. Hospitals, refugees, silent graves. Humanity learned that victory is temporary, but loss lasts for generations. Earth explained why it avoided conflict. We learned restraint because we failed without it. The galaxy listened closely. Many races had never admitted failure before. The broadcast showed simulations, thousands of possible futures, almost all of them ending in collapse. Human systems had run these models for centuries. Adjusting, learning, we learned when to speak, when to stay silent, and when to act. The voice grew firmer. We do not strike first, because the first strike changes everything. The image returned to the destroyed human station, the place where millions had died. That shot forced our hand. Earth did not sound angry. It sounded resolved. We responded not for revenge, but to stop the cycle. The galaxy finally understood. Earth was not afraid of war. Earth was afraid of becoming what war creates. The human voice continued. We will not rule you. We will not judge your cultures, but we will stop wars that threaten existence. This message carried weight, not because of power, but because of proof. Reports confirmed the truth. Major conflicts were ending. Supply lines were reopening. Rebuilding had begun. Earth announced its final stance. We remain neutral. But any fleet that fires without cause will be stopped. No cheers followed. No celebration. Only understanding. The galaxy accepted a new reality. Earth was no longer ignored, no longer mocked. It was respected. As time passed, histories were written, and one lesson appeared again and again. Earth does not fight for glory. Earth fights to end wars. And so the quiet planet returned to silence, watching, waiting. Because humanity knew something, the galaxy was still learning. Peace is not weakness, it is control.